Hello there. Um, Another night here in Sydney, Australia. Um, not the not necessarily actually a bad day. Um, Not feeling necessarily quite the best myself though. Fortunately, not sick. It's good. Um, yeah, I'm having I had some the other day a little while ago. I actually had kept these in a little Ziploc baggie here for a little while. And I meant to finish them off earlier on, but I didn't. And I was feeling kind of hungry tonight, and all that. So, I figured I probably shouldn't really try to go down and get something from the you know vending machine again. Because I already did that like 2 or 3 times this week, and I don't know. I probably spent, I don't know, a bit more money this week than I really should have. Really meant to. Um, Especially still, it was a bit hard. Um, Really not trying to just order some fast food or something for dinner pretty much once or twice a week. Because again, I spent that money on this last Sunday, but yeah, fortunately, it's over this week and all that. It's Friday. I did have a protein drink earlier, for a couple dollars. Which is good. Yeah, it was like the third one I've had in this last week or two, pretty much. Um, I'm trying to I'm trying to get like the actual stuff out of the machine that will maybe give me a little bit more, energy or sustenance or something. You know, like those or some nuts. You know, for some protein instead of just pure carbs. Um, oh yeah, and last night I just gonna take these out here. Sorry, I'm literally just watching my silverware like literally every other night, pretty much. I just only have like 2 sets of this stuff. Um, but I actually went down and I got myself some mac and cheese um here, so it was actually a fairly decent sized portion. I mean, I probably could have eaten more than that, but that's probably pretty good. Um, that was nice. A little bit of extra energy and actually fairly sizable for its cost and all that. I mean, I know I could get some like chips or some Chezzles or something, and I might do that at some point or another. And I'm not buying if I can resist it. You know, Never. I'm not buying any of that bottled water. Because I can just get tap water for free, and it's perfectly fine. So, I mean, I don't know. I might do occasional Coke or something, but we'll see. Uh-huh. Well, I'm not really feeling too great because I've basically this whole week and this last weekend, I've had my mind constantly thinking about these bigger assignments that I've got due in the next couple of weeks, for all my classes, and Yeah, I've really not been drinking probably nearly enough water these last couple of days. I need to catch up on that. Um, um, what was I saying? Yeah, so I got these couple of major assignments, and none of them are really anything too crazy, but just just big assignments and all that. And so, like for example, really this one that I tried doing some work on today, pretty much most of it, not really even fully done, but I kind of just figured, I'm just gonna be good enough for tonight because it's like almost 10 p.m. right now, and I'm tired of that shit, and and whatnot, and I just figure I need to talk out loud, even if it's just in front of my own fucking computer, you know, um, I don't know, get it up some way or another. But I mean, I've also just been just like a bit really upset with myself because this last these last few weeks I did pretty well in the first week, but this is week four, and since like week two of this semester here, I've just I've been getting the readings done that I need to for my courses and all that, and but like instead of doing them at like really really good times and just getting them done and then just kind of really enjoying all the rest of my day like I did in the first week, kind of just procrastinating and keep on purposefully getting myself distracted, and looking at my phone and scrolling YouTube or whatever. And, I mean, honestly, the crazy thing is like most of the time when I'm even on there now, I just like a lot of this stuff. I'm just like I don't really want to watch that because it's just like just talking about all the kind of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, or things are like or it's like really long, like you know, documentaries or discussions of different theories of shit and all that, and and I don't know. I'm trying to mostly just stick more to well, I haven't really done a completely good job about it, but maybe I should just stick more to more just the Minecraft stuff. Um, I have watched a fair amount of that recently. I think this last weekend. Um, Sunday, I think I talked about in that video. Then one of the few videos I did that day. I watched some YouTube. Um, that was nice, but yeah, I don't know. I've been struggling a bit with that these last few weeks, and I don't think it'll be forever. I think I'll kind of get out of it, and you know, wake up and all that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess just by saying it out loud, maybe I'm kind of like, well, it's a bit too harsh on myself to feel like I'm doing shit with that because I I'm still doing pretty well. Some other fronts. I mean, I've been good about getting stuff done, like you know, taking care of laundry or getting groceries or you know, uh, still trying to have a little bit of contact with some people back home or getting to most of my classes. I mean, I don't know. I've still had the thing where like I feel like some of my classes I feel like I'm gonna be late, but then somehow I get there like just a couple minutes before it starts, and then it's like perfectly fine. I mean I've had a few classes where I you know here and there where I these last few weeks where like I got there just a little late, not that much, but just a little bit, and I'm kind of afraid that like I've pretty much kind of already made it so like I can't even realistically, be absent anymore. Just because I was late or anything like that. Um, or absent like when I if I genuinely need to, like if I ever get sick while I'm here, you know. Um, for any classes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could probably there's probably some kind of form of notification or something I could say or do, but I really, I really don't want to I really don't want to and be missing too many things and all that because I mean, because then I might lose my, you know, might have my visa, student visa, complicated. Might I don't know. It's possible that goes really too bad. I might not even get to keep it. And I'd have to go back home earlier. And I don't know what that would even mean for me, but I really don't want to find out, you know. But and that'd be really, embarrassing and all that for me because you know I don't know. Would I just continue the school year back home or would I just be with my family? I don't know. I feel like I'd be. I mean, I'd be like, yo, great. I basically failed, this experience, and then I kind of just makes the whole getting credits for stuff complicated, or do can people at the school trust me to you know get my credits and all that, or to go to all my classes and stuff? I don't know. Maybe I'm just catastrophizing or something here a little bit, but I don't know. But I don't know. Um, I'm a little. It's a little sad. Too, because you know I kind of thought that this last weekend that I probably would have gotten this assignment done by now, or would have been just finishing it, like yesterday probably or something, maybe tonight. And I wanted to go on this surf trip to Garoa. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but something like that. Geroa. Ge. We'll just look it up. Um, I don't know. Whatever. Um, something like that. This is about 2 hours south of where I'm at right now, Sydney. Yeah, it'd be actually for probably most of the day. Um, all that. I was supposed to sign a couple of different waivers and all that for it, but get around to it, and and again, like these last couple of nights, like I just, just again, this whole procrastination thing and all that, and I just thought, well, I'll just figure it out today, but I didn't really figure it out until tonight, and then it's like, well, probably too late for that, and I want to, and again, I probably should have already, prepped a sandwich and some stuff for lunch for that, and I also want to make sure tomorrow that I finish this stupid paper and I don't know, maybe some work or something like that. No, maybe even just one of the other assignments I got in the next couple of weeks. Just knock something else out, I guess. Um, I don't know, a little bit, and probably also just the stuff like clean the bathroom. I should have done that last week, but forgot to do it, so I'm just gonna do it this week. It should be my roommate's turn, but it's not really fair for him to have to do it because I forgot to last week and I feel stupid because I was the one telling him to make sure he cleaned the bathroom on his weeks, and I did. I did fine for a little while, but I don't just feels a little hypocritical. So just like, well, I'll just go ahead and do it tomorrow. Plus, I also want to have a bit of time to call with my dad and catch up with him a little bit. I mean, a little more. I mean, of course, I text some with my family, but mostly just generic stuff. But you know, it's also really just nice getting to hear his voice again. But you know, one kind of random, I know, but one thing I don't know if I ever really said anything about it or video, but there's a so this coat here that I have, you know, I'm not gonna be wearing for the whole this coat um this was actually something that my dad gave to me that he had it's not as like a Christmas gift or anything, but it was around Christmas time. It was it's December and all that, or early January, somewhere around that time. It was during our winter break, and it was just about the time before I was about to go back to school, and you know back home, back home in the U.S. Right? It was January is really the start of our actual winter. Technically, it should be December, but it really wasn't. But anyways, this coat here, I don't really know how well you can actually see it, so let me just maybe sit down a little, but uh, you can't really see the full thing. But um, it's pretty comfortable. It's sturdy and all that. But yeah, my dad used to have this. He used to wear this, and I don't really think about it too much most of the time. But every time that I, a little contradiction there, whatever. But a lot of times, maybe every time when I put this on or when I grab this, it does feel a little bit like sort of special to me because again, like my dad gives me, and of course, like most of the clothes that I've gotten, of course, my family. But the thing was with this is like, um, well, a couple of different things. One, sorry, I'm getting a little. I can't really. I don't know. Maybe you can't really see, but I'm feeling a little tearful on the inside right now. Um, you know, this is the sort of thing where, like, especially when I was going back to college, university at that time. Right, I didn't have another break for at least like another like 2.5 months or something like that to go back home. And this was like in the last week or so, I think. That was like very very early January, right? And and that's just sort of thing of like, it just sort of reminds me of like how comforting it feels to me when I can get like a hug from one of my parents, or or some or like some of the previous like winters that we've had, like when I was a kid or something like that, and my dad would be coming back home, or he'd drive us out somewhere, and even if it was most of the time it's just to get groceries, you know just nothing really exciting, but it was always really nice to be with them. And even if we had all the dumb stuff of the the car doors freezing up, especially the one on my brother's side. It would always get like stuck in that van, and just make the beeping noise forever for the whole time we'd be driving and all that. Or me to have a or the winter, however long ago that was, a few years ago, I think, and all four of us, me and my brother, my mom and my dad, we went to this, it was like some special coffee shop or something in our hometown and somewhere nearby, and parents got a cup of coffee, and then me and my brother each got, a hot chocolate, and it was really nice, and again, it's also just like, yeah, I miss my family, and you know, um, this is, you know, I I know I've had many times when I was at my home college, my home university, and at least a few times here while I've been. I mean, I haven't been here in Sydney, Australia, for as long as that semester back home was. And the crazy thing too is my home university is like they're just like a 30, 40, 50 minute drive away from home, literally like the second closest one to where I was at. But um, it was just hard for me being away from family because they mean a lot to me, and I really love them, and nothing can really fully replace, what being around them feels like. And I think it's just a part of it's just a part of you know growing up and being independent, especially for me kids, right? Having a whole fucking different country on the other side of the planet, and I don't even get any breaks really to go see them. I mean, I have the 1 week break, between September, October or something, but you know, um, I don't know. I feel like it would be. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like it would be probably not the best idea to try to, book a whole flight back home, you know, um, and then come back, within that, because, I'd just be really tired and jet lagged and all that, and it has to be expensive, and I don't have the money to, unless I get a job, maybe, but I don't really have the funds to be able to afford getting a whole different ass flight and going back. And plus, even if I did, I'd be super jet lagged when I'm there, and then jet lagged when I come back. And I just have at least 2 days of just being fucking flying again. And I could maybe do the whole. I could maybe do the whole flying across the U.S. flights again. Because that was like it's about 6, 7 hours total, right? It's not terrible, but I hate the fucking flight across the Pacific Ocean. Like that just it, the actual flight itself was fine, but just the feeling of being on there for 15 hours, it was just really not my cup of tea. I guess we'll say that. But anyhow, um, should take this coat off. I'm getting a little warm. um, It actually gets more water. Yeah, these peanuts make me yeah, because I got a bit of a spice to them, especially because I'm drinking enough water. Kicks a little bit more. But yeah, but with this Coke, one of the there's sort of two different kind of memories that I also really have that are not really tied to this Coke, and one of them was a couple of the days of that winter when I was going, when January, February, you know, um, of last year, or actually no, it wasn't last year. It was the last school year for me, which was ended in May. Because the whole system in the U.S. works is we start in August and in April or May. But anyhow, um, but yeah, some of those days when I'd come back and just getting settled back into college life and all that, and there was all the snow everywhere, and it was cold and wet, and I just hung into this, you know, and and then the second one was when I actually came here to Sydney my very first day, and it was actually pretty cold then. That was like pretty much one of the only few cold days I've actually experienced here. Um, and I was also, jet lagged, and I was just in disbelief that I even got here. And I've talked about that numerous times, you know, in um, in the videos that I've made since then, you know. But really, it's kind of just a little bit of a way of sort of grounding me, and I kind of when I feel this around me, it kind of feels a little bit like a sort of a reminder and comfort and sort of confidence I could trust in in my dad or my mom while we were out and doing things and just trying to feel that as I do things by myself. And so it kind of feels a bit special to me in that. And you know I mean, of course, there's plenty of other really special things like my own fucking phone, but you know it's more just like it's not entirely the same sort of thing because again, like I think a lot about a lot of oh wow, I got a couple messages from from certain someone. I don't actually know if I really talked about all too much in the recent videos, but yeah, I actually recently started talking to this girl on Tinder. And yeah, actually, I I was kind of getting pretty fed up with the whole dating app stuff, because I really just felt like it just really wasn't working, and just like a lot of people on there are really just I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like I could. I mean, I'd like to think that I could, you know, make a really good romantic relationship with a lot of different kind of girls out there, but the thing is, like, a lot of them are just it's just over sexualized shit. And like, yeah, sure, like, yeah, I want to have sex with my future girlfriend and all that, but like, I don't want that thrown in my face. And like, I'm not looking for, a short term buddy. Like, I'm looking for, a long term partner. So I'm looking for someone who, is actually, self respectful, shall we say. And who I feel like actually has like sense of depth and all that. But and amongst other things too. But anyways, but yes, I did actually meet this girl on there, and she's really nice, and she's pretty cute. I'll say that. I really hope it works out. I don't know. Maybe she is my future girlfriend. We were both pretty interested in each other. When we were getting a chat, I even FaceTimed her. So I can confirm she's not a 40-year-old man. That's good to know, for sure. I'm not into that kind of thing, and rather not be stalked by creepy predators. Um, But but yeah, she's really cute, and and to say one thing I really liked about her is she has this really cute like laughter, and she's a bit ashamed of her own voice, but I think it's honestly really beautiful, and I really like her accent too. So the way that she says certain words, um, very nice, very appealing. So yeah, literally FaceTimed and basically just. I mean, a lot of it was me because, like, again, she was like doing her assignment and all that, but she really wanted to hear me talking for a lot of it, and so I obliged. Um, but yeah, that whole thing was like about it was a little over like 4.5 hours. So I think we had a bit of a connection and all that, and yeah, there's a lot of things we were like, yeah, me too. So that was really nice. I really enjoyed that. So I saw that she sent me a few messages here. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and click on them to see because I wonder if she wants to have a bit of a call or something like that. Because I'll determine funds. Okay, so no, she didn't really say anything about a call, but does look like. Wait, wait. Wow. Okay. Well, that's lovely. Got a notification from Discord from one of the clubs I joined, being like Friday pizza and games, and happening from. Well, actually, it said it's happening from 5 to 9 p.m. Wow. Well, it's like 10:30 right now. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Well, even if I didn't, if I missed that, at least I don't know. At least okay, let me put it back. At least I went to the a different club event today. Finally, around to it. No, uh, I mean, I know, I know today. I was mentioning the whole thing earlier about me being stressed about getting some major assignments done and all that, but I did decide at least today, just to make myself feel at least a little bit better, to do two things. So yeah, I went to one of the club events, and that was for the chess club. There wasn't really that many people there, and I think on Fridays, they have it on like 3 or 4 days of the week. I think on Fridays, what I've heard, and from what I saw too, they don't have nearly as many people. So it's really just a handful of us dudes in there, and a little corner of the whole lounge area and all that. But it was nice playing a couple of games. Um, yeah, that's honestly just a bit rusty and all that. And yeah, the one of the games I played there, like the second one, I just did absolutely shit at because like I lost to a fucking beginner, and I mean I'm no grandmaster or anything remotely like that with chess, and there's certainly a lot of people way better and faster and all that than I ever have been or probably ever will be. But but yeah, that game was a bit of a embarrassment for me. I made so many really bad, obvious mistakes, and the frustrating thing is like, I don't even know how entirely I just did that, and it just felt shit. So, but fortunately, I had a bit of a comeback that next game, and wasn't exactly that I whooped this guy's ass, but I did make significantly better moves in that game comparatively to the last one, so that was nice. And then I actually won that one, so that felt nice. And one of the funny things with that was, yeah, and the game that in that second game, yeah, so one where I lost to this beginner. I played three games today. One was against one guy, and then the third one against this other guy, the beginner guy, right? And so the first game that I played against this beginner guy, I'm gonna keep on saying it like that. Sure, I guess why not? Um, I mean, I'm not using people's real names on here, anyways. So, but so anyways, yeah, he did like six or seven like takebacks or something like that, and then I basically in the third game, well, then I won. I was like, okay, you did all your takebacks in that last one, and that's more than I would normally allow for a game, anyways. I would probably only at most allow three after that, and then they just have to suck it up and make a shit move. Um, but I mean, I only did like one or two takebacks, and mine, and then I was like, no, you're not allowed to use, you're not allowed to use any of yours. I didn't use any of mine last time. You used way more than I would have personally allowed when I normally play. Some other people, or what I've heard some other people that I've played with before go by too, you know, and so then I was like, nope, you don't get any this time around. So he had to deal with his mistakes and all that, and then I beat him. So, um, yes, that felt nice. The first game didn't actually finish. Kind of just taking a long time. Is mostly also just talking a lot with that guy, so just a lot of different stuff. So, but anyway, it's nice to meet a few different people in there. I don't know, maybe a couple new friends or something. I don't know. But always a few buddies to play some chess with, once or twice a week. I don't know, but and then the other thing I did today for about half an hour is I went back into the Chowchak Wing Museum here on USYD campus, and I went and saw the first floor, or no, the fourth floor. I'm sorry, how did I get that quite wrong? I went and saw the fourth floor, which was mostly like modern or semi-modern art, and um, and then also a bunch of it was also just a bit of like a history of some different like medical devices and all that that some Australian scientists had made, developed, etc. Used, practiced with in the 18th and 19th centuries. It was pretty cool. They had some. I don't even really know what any of the shit was actually called. Most of it, anyways. But it was nice. It was nice to see it, and yeah, it was a little weird getting to see just. I mean, not as much as some of the other stuff that I had had before, but like for example, like the mummies and all that. In the ancient Egyptian section on was it the second floor, second or third floor. But yeah, it was a little weird to see these little pieces of technology that you're sort of like predating a bit of a lot of the stuff that we just commonly use, in medical services nowadays, and that had been used and touched on. I mean, I didn't see any fingerprints on any of the stuff, but just kind of special, you know, getting to see that. Um, yeah, and then they had some pretty cool art, excuse me, and plenty of little pictures of just some different stuff on campus and all that, and whatnot. There was actually a few, I believe, around um, rose up between like the 60s and 90s or something like that. There's a little bit of a section for that there, kind of some students reacting to some things that are happening in the United States. And so it's just been interesting to kind of see those images, and all that. Um, but yeah. So yeah, there was actually this one about was it these students being around this professor who kind of made a whole joking about like the whole like McCarthyism in the 50s and 60s. Um, so that was a bit funny. So that's pretty much been my day. Um, no, I really finish this off. There's a few left in there. Getting tons of crumbs here, so I'm just brushing them into the trash can. I don't want them to get everywhere. But yeah. Yeah, after that, I think I get most crumbs left in there. I'll throw this away. But anyhow. Even if the other night was on Tuesday or was it? No, it was actually yesterday. My sense of time is messed up. Um, yeah, yesterday. Um, yeah, my first class was at 11. And all that, and I meant to, and I should have worked on more stuff. I'm sorry, um, some stuff with any of these major assignments or whatever. But instead, what I decided to do was just go ahead and take care of some other things, I think. So I went ahead and, or no, it was on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember which day it was. Some of the last few days. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and, go out and get my groceries and, wash these well, it's not really dishes, it's just silverware. I haven't really seen any other dishes while I've been here. For the most part, and then took out trash and a few other things. I don't remember all that it was, but a couple of things I needed to. Just going ahead and getting them done ahead of time so I didn't have to do it, a little bit later on this week. So I'm good about that, and just getting a bunch of that small stuff done and taken care of. So, I mean, at least I didn't really have any serious worries about, physical needs or anything like that. And I mean, I guess at least I know sometimes it's not a perfect strategy. You shouldn't over rely on it, but sometimes if you can't really seem to get anything done on one thing that you need to, then you might as well just go ahead and take care of everything else. So that way you don't have all the stresses piling up on you, and kind of varies, especially because I know myself. if I have if I have the academic stuff and then I have too many stress to the environment and all that, and then like I'm hungry and thirsty and need to go use the bathroom and I need to clean myself and all these other things, and it really just makes me really really stressed out. And so I just figure, I'm just gonna go ahead and knock a lot of that stuff out of the way. So as at least helps some, and I guess just again talking this stuff out makes me I already feel a little bit better now, and I guess I got a lot more progress on that paper and try to finish it up tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I think it's probably going to be it for this video. I might do a Minecraft video. I don't know. I might also just watch some more Amazon Prime. I did have my first time rewatching a movie on Amazon Prime on my phone last night. I think as I was doing my laundry, and then and I came back in and I had this, mac and cheese thing, and all that, and then after I finished a few other things, then I was just laying in my bed there for a bit. I rewatched the movie Pixels, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically just about where like these kids in the 80s, they they're playing some arcade games, and then it's like a whole thing with the Guinness World Records, and then like some of that stuff being sent as part of was like one of the Voyager expeditions out to outer space to connect with aliens, and then essentially, many years later, like 20, 30 years later, when these kids are grown up and all that, and these aliens misinterpret, these get these messages and misinterpret it as an act of war and all that, and then they send, basically challenge the people of Earth, and to fight, and these two these two or three kids, now grown up adults, basically kind of now find their sort of fulfilling in life, and and boom, they get to help the U.S. government and all that stuff. So yeah, kind of goofy, but it was nice to rewatch that. It was fun. So, but I at least did that, and even if I haven't done absolutely everything entirely new in the last little bit, at least I, you know, done a couple things, and you know, I mean, I guess there's probably still ways I could say that I am still trying, succeeding, and doing well with. So, yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the most absolutely exciting adventures and all that every single day. At least I'm having some stuff go well for me, and that I'm doing right. So I guess I should be proud of that. Uh, yeah, actually, I am going to let me check my calendar, but I'm pretty sure that yeah, on wait, it's not okay. So it's not it's not this next next upcoming Monday. So that being September 1st, but on September 8th, um I actually get to go over to the Sydney Opera House again, and I will see La Boheme. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation or whatever, however you say the word. Um, but yeah, that'll be really fun. It's all about some Aboriginal art and history. It's like a whole ass performance and whatnot. So I think that will be fantastic. I am absolutely looking forward to that. I think that'll be really fun. Um, and it'll be really nice. And then what else was it? Let me just go pull that back up again. Um, Oh yeah, so that is actually a was actually a event with the providers here of my study abroad program. So that would be nice. I don't know where the other. The thing is, some of these events, it's like because I'm going by myself to them, you know, it's like I don't know where all the people are sitting at and all that, and then I get emails later on being like, "Well, you didn't attend this event," and I'm like, "No, I did." Um, the reason that they send those events is because they're like, "Well, if you, if you, right, if you sign up for things and then you don't show up, then then they can." Basically make it a lot harder for you to be able to join or do things or prevent you from signing up for events and all that stuff, or they can charge you for it. I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, I'm going to this stuff. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, and then after that week, on that, on September 18th, I have a presentation for my class. It'll be week 7. And then that Saturday and Sunday, be having a I don't know if I'll stick with it or not, but having a trip to the Blue Mountains for a bit of a hike and all that. So that'll be nice, fun, and yeah. Then the week after that, you know, September 29 to uh, what was it? You know, that's October 5th. That's Sunday. All right. That's my 1 week break. So yeah, I mean, it's already to the end. It's almost already to the end of August, and that's honestly a bit crazy. Anyhow, I guess I will get on with actually ending this video. I said that a few minutes ago and actually do that. So, anyways, if you did watch this, if you did somehow manage to stick around with this, I know this was long. This is like 51 minutes. I'm so sorry, but sorry, not sorry. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell, and so that we can see more stuff like this if you're so interested. Or you can check out my Minecraft content. I do stuff like that, although a lot of those videos are definitely really long. But I did actually recently start somewhat recently, like first couple days of August. You know, I did start this new Minecraft Survival World series, unedited, all that. Some of the videos I talk, some of them I don't. But you can watch that. Check it out if you're interested. Anyways, see ya.